Why don't modern bands respect Oasis anymore? And when did it all start to go wrong? Because here's the truth. Oasis might have ruled the 90s, but their reign didn't last. And now, the rock stars of today are looking at them like yesterday's news. Before we dive into the riffs, the egos, and the cultural shift that left Oasis behind, hit subscribe, because we're about to talk about the fall of the once untouchable, and why the new wave of artists don't give a damn about the Gallagher brothers anymore. Let's rewind. Oasis, the kings of Britpop, the band that screamed rebellion into the mainstream. They didn't just make music, they made an identity. Loud, proud, brash, Liam with his swagger, Noel with his sharp tongue. They were the anti-heroes we didn't know we needed, and for a while, they were unstoppable. But then something shifted. Because rock music didn't stay the same, the music world changed, and Oasis didn't change with it. By the time we hit the 2000s, their sound felt tired. They're carving their own paths. Their music, fresh, innovative, unpredictable. They create sounds that make people sit up and listen, not just because they're loud, but because they're different. Take Tame Impala. Kevin Parker is a wizard with sounds, creating lush landscapes with synthesizers and strange beats. He's not singing about fighting with his brother. He's reflecting on life, on love, on consciousness. And here's the thing. Tame Impala's music isn't designed to be shouted out in stadiums. It's designed to make you feel something. And the artists of today get it. They know it's not about just being loud anymore. It's about making art that resonates beyond the noise. But Oasis, their music was simple, loud, and catchy. But when you looked closer, there wasn't a lot of depth. There wasn't much innovation. And that's why Oasis feels irrelevant to modern bands. They're stuck in a box, a relic of an era when it was enough to just be cocky and play power chords. But today's rock bands, they're challenging the norms. They're rewriting the rules. They're making music that feels fresh, that feels necessary. Oasis, on the other hand, feels like an era we're just starting to forget. Their music is still loved, but their message, it's outdated. It's stuck in a time when it was cool to rebel just for the sake of it, without understanding what rebellion really means. Let's talk about the cultural shift. Modern rock has become more, it's about culture. It's about social change. It's about using your platform to speak about the world, to challenge inequality, to reflect what's actually happening around us. And Oasis? They were never about that. Their fights were always about ego. Their songs were about selfishness. Their image was built on attitude, not on purpose. And while their cool factor worked for a while, today's artists know that being a true rock star means more than just acting like one. You need to make your music count. And that's where Oasis missed the mark. They were living in a bubble of their own making, but they never asked themselves, are we saying something that matters? Take the 1975 Matty Healy, a frontman with depth, a frontman who questions, who challenges, who explores social issues, mental health, love in a digital world. It's not just songs, it's a movement. And that's what modern bands understand. Their music is a reflection of the times, of the world, of what needs to be said. And Oasis? They stopped saying anything new. And while they were busy partying, the world caught up, rock caught up, and they were left in the rearview mirror. Let's talk about the newer generation of music. Where's the space for Oasis now? Not because their music wasn't iconic, but because their era is done. People like the Arctic Monkeys, they don't just make great music, they make music that evolves, that demands to be heard. They challenge rock tropes, they play with their sound. They don't care if they're authentic or pure in the eyes of old rock gods. And Oasis, they were great, but they stopped trying to push boundaries. And that's the problem. When the world keeps changing, you can't stay still and expect to remain relevant. So here's the ultimate question. Do Oasis deserve to be called legends? Or did they just luck out with timing, with attitude, and with the right amount of ego? at the right time. Modern bands don't respect Oasis because they're stuck in their own myth, stuck in their own image, stuck in a time when it was enough to play loud, but do nothing new. And when that myth fades and the legacy burns out, what's left? Don't forget to subscribe. If you're ready for the truth about music's biggest myths and why the legends we once worshipped are slowly slipping away, and here's the question: do Oasis deserve to be remembered as rock gods? Or were they just lucky enough to hit a moment in time and never evolve? Repetitive. The albums weren't evolving. The singles were rehashing old tricks. And the tension between the brothers? It wasn't cute anymore. It was just exhausting. Other bands were pushing boundaries. Bands like Radiohead, Arctic Monkeys, Muse. The sounds were new. The lyrics were deep. The vibe was evolving. But Oasis? They were stuck playing Wonderwall for the 15th time. And the worst part? They didn't care. The Gallagher brothers had always been a loud presence in rock, but they stopped growing. They stopped taking risks. And rock music? It moved on without them. And that's where modern bands come in. Because they don't respect Oasis anymore. Why would they? Oasis stopped evolving when the world needed change. They stayed in their own lane. And while they were at it, they made sure to be loud about it. But there was no real substance left. Let's be real. The likes of bands like Tame Impala, Glass Animals, and the 1975 don't need to be part of the Oasis legacy.